Hi, today I'm going to show you how to get Shopify orders into AccountEdge. AccountEdge's integration seems like it has stopped working for a period of time, and so a lot of people are finding us to basically get orders from Shopify as a CSV and then import those CSVs into AccountEdge. There is no automated way at this current time to get Shopify orders into AccountEdge, so there is some manual process here. So if this is not for you, then move on. But if you want to get your orders in, there's a lot of people using us to do that in the meantime. So conceptually, what's going to happen is every time a new order is made in Shopify, EasyCSV is going to produce a CSV file you can quickly import into AccountEdge. And you can have that file emailed to you. You can have files put onto uh, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, FTP, wherever you want those files to be put, and then you can do a process to import those. Maybe someone on your team, or you do it once a day, or if you don't get that many orders every day, you just want it emailed to you, and every time you get an email, you use your email as kind of your to-do to import into AccountEdge. So sign up for EasyCSV. You'll click on Create New Import Flow, and you're going to come here to where is the files or data coming from. In this case, we're going to start with Shopify Orders. So click Shopify Orders. You say, where do you want to send the data? We've made a nice, convenient function here for AccountEdge. Even though it's going to email you a file, that's what this flow is going to set up. It's going to set up a email flow to email you a CSV as an attachment to the email every time a new order is made in your store. But it's going to be in a format that AccountEdge can just quickly import. So click AccountEdge, and it's going to make an import flow. An import flow is basically a way to automate getting the data from Shopify to that file. Either you can have it sent via email in the default case, or you can change something else. So you're going to be prompted to put in your email. So you can click here, or you can go down to the destination area, and you can put in your email. Okay, you can put in a default subject line if you want, or whatever. You can change the file name. So I like to put order here, and then we have a special syntax where you can do curly brace underscore order name, and you'll get the actual name from the order. Click save. Okay, so now that's set up to send you an email. This import flow is kind of just the detail in the process of what will happen. This top is how EasyCSV gets the data. In this case, we want to check Shopify for new orders. So if you click view or turn on edit, click edit here. Take a moment. I like to have it look every 10 to 20 minutes for a new order. That's the fastest. Do new orders. You can filter by certain orders if you want. You're going to separate each order into its own import, and you're going to turn it on. So all of a sudden, it's going to start working. It might just send you an email if a new order is made or has been made in the last 10 to 20 minutes, or if one is made in the future in the next 10 to 20 minute check. While we wait for that, I'll open up my Shopify store here. While we wait for that, we can test pull an order. So I have this order BL148. That's the name of the order. I can go in here. I could click force fetch latest orders, and it'll look back probably, I think, over the last hour with a 10 to 20 minute check and say, have there been any orders we have not fetched before? And it should fetch them. If you click that, give it a minute, refresh this page, see a log entry to see if any new orders were found. If you haven't had an order made in the last 10 to 20 minutes or hour, it won't find any. As soon as it finds an order, it won't fetch it again, so you don't get duplicates. But you can always force fetch by order name, so you can test this whole flow. So let's do BL148. That's the order I want to fetch order. So it's been queued, so the order fetch goes into a queue and kind of waits to be processed. If you refresh, see it hasn't happened yet. I refresh again. Just give it a minute here. Cool. You'll see that if I refresh here, it fetched the order. It says what order was fetched. And once an order is fetched, that log, it basically then sends it through this flow, okay? So this columns area details, this is all the data we can get from Shopify. You don't need to touch any of this. You can just use all this data in AccountEdge if you want, okay? There's a lot of fields here. We've done work to already set up the file for you. So you see here the file has last name, first name, middle initial. All this is set up for you. You don't have to touch it if you don't want to. It should have everything you need. If there's any column that has data in the file that you're being emailed, where you're like, Max, the data is close, but I need it to be like this number, or this, you can email support, or you can come in here and change that yourself. You go to virtual fields. Virtual fields are what are defining these columns. So if you click here, you see here's the column names in the file that you're being emailed, and here's what the values are. So in last name, if you click edit, the spreadsheet column or import name, these are all the fields that you can get from Shopify, and it's taking the billing last name here. You could theoretically go find the shipping last name right up here at the top of the thing, and you could check that value in last name. So you can just play around with whatever you want here in all of these. Some are a little more interesting than others, like this journal memo. These virtual fields are pretty complicated if you want to make them, but this is basically taking custom text. I just typed in web order number, then it's taking the order name, it's taking custom text again, which is colon space, and then putting the billing name, and that's making your journal memo. So you'll see it kind of looks like this, and text will be the order number, and this will be that person's name. And so, it's doing a mix of taking values from Shopify and then doing a mix of combining those into interesting things. You'll see there's a bunch of blank columns too. If you need to add a column that you want to use, you can always click New Virtual Field. Maybe I want customer phone, and I want to pull the phone value from Shopify here. So I can save that. And now there will be a column in my file called customer phone that's emailed to me. I could also make one called customer email. And you can do email here. Okay, and that could help you like dedupe stuff in the AccountEdge side. You see customer email here. So you can add new fields that you want in the file pretty quickly. You can also change them. And so now the next email I would get those new columns. It's not retroactive. I don't get a new file emailed to me. So then I'm like, okay, let me go look what the thing will do again. Let me fetch that same order. So now it's been queued, so you got to wait a minute. Cool, so it fetched that. So it fetched it again. Now, in a normal situation, you won't fetch the same order twice, but because we're testing with this force fetch, it is. This will be what the email looks like right now. You can customize the subject line like I showed or what's in there, but you'll see there's an attachment. Let's take a look at this file together. Cool. This is what the file looks like. It's got all the info from the order. There's a row per line item, right? Per SKU item number. That's what AccountEdge calls SKU item number. You can rename the columns whatever you want. You can leave them. You can do whatever. But you see here's customer email here and customer phone that we added. Perfect. Okay. So now that you have this running, right, it's on. It's going to check for new orders every 20 minutes. You're done in EasyCSV. So all EasyCSV doing conceptually is every time a new order is made, it's emailing you a file to be imported into AccountEdge. Or you can have it put on S3 or something. We asked AccountEdge if we could send the files into AccountEdge easily or put them on an FTP server drive where AccountEdge could find them and just automatically import. They don't have anything right now. So it is going to be manual. If you have a high volume store, this might not be the solution for you, but there's a lot of people who are in a bad spot. So we're just trying to help out, even though it's probably not the best. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go over to AccountEdge. We have this in our docs, but I just made it, somebody was kind enough to make a doc with screenshots for us. There's two steps if you want it. You can start with just importing the order, but I'm going to show you how to import the customer record too. You're going to use the file, the order file, and if the customer is not in your AccountEdge database, this might be optional, we don't really know. You can import the customer info. So you'll go to AccountEdge, click File in the upper left, go down to Import Data, Cards, Customers, and for import file selected, you'll choose import file header record, reject duplicates, identify customers by, whatever you think is unique. I don't think last name in this is a good way to unique. Maybe you can do that phone field or email field I just showed. Press continue, then select the file. Because you want to identify customers by something that's unique about that customer. And the only thing that's usually unique we find is email or phone. Once you select the file, you're going to do a matching exercise. And if you click auto match, we've named some of the columns of the file exactly what AccountEdge expects, but some aren't. So like auto match should match those, but then you should be able to select the columns from the file and match them to the AccountEdge fields you want. So the column names in the file would be that. You can always change what's in EasyCSV to better match these if you want to make auto match more powerful. But you'll do a matching exercise of what's in the file to what you want to put in the AccountEdge field. And then you'll click import, and then it should make a customer record in this case. Now, once the customer's in, or if you just want to try importing the orders first, you can just do it importing the file again, or for the first time. You'll go to File, Import Data, Transactions, Sales, Item Sales. That's how you import a CSV for orders. Okay, and it's going to look exactly the same. Identify customers by last name. Yeah, you could do email or whatever you want there. It also might say identify orders by or sales by, and you can choose the order ID or order name in the file instead. I'm not sure what this will say, identify customers by. It might say transactions or sales by. In that case, you will want to use the order name in the file. Click continue, select the file, do the mapping exercise again, and match the columns in the file to the columns in AccountEdge you want, and then click import. And you should be done, pending that it looks good on the AccountEdge side. If it doesn't look good on the AccountEdge side, delete it. You can go back here and you can go to virtual fields and change the names of these. You can click edit, like if you want to change the name of the column, you can change the value that you're pulling from Shopify to be whatever you need. You can also email support and be like, hey, support, EasyCSV support, the value in this column is not right for what I need in AccountEdge. Can you help me make something? Like we've helped people make a tax on freight, like where we take the total tax of the order minus the total price, and then that's the tax on the freight for somebody's store. Like your store might be unique, your AccountEdge setup might be unique, and please contact EasyCSV support. But really highlight for us which value in the file needs to be different, and tell us how you want it to be. That'll really help us speed up the back and forth. The more detailed you can be, the better. Like some people want total weight, and it comes from ounces in Shopify, and so we need to do an equation. So we can do a lot of things for you. If you need a field for your AccountEdge situation, or your Shopify store is in a unique situation where whatever's being produced is strange, we can help you do that. So just reach out to support. If you need help getting the file in AccountEdge support might be really good for that. We don't have a lot of visibility on the AccountEdge side. Somebody has made this how-to guide for us, which is very nice of them. And we're just trying to conceptually highlight it here. Let us know how it goes, and talk to you soon.